The United States is currently facing one of the most intense and dangerous storms of 2025. What started as a typical winter system has now transformed into a life-threatening event, bringing extreme cold, heavy snowfall, and widespread disruptions across multiple states. From Texas to the northeast, millions of Americans are experiencing freezing temperatures, hazardous road conditions, and power outages. Experts warn that the storm is still intensifying, making it even more dangerous than initially predicted. But what's causing this storm to get even worse? How will it impact different regions? And most importantly, how can you stay safe during this historic weather event? We'll break it all down in this video. Before we continue, make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us bring you the latest updates and crucial information during extreme weather events. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss an important update. Now, let's dive into the meteorological factors that are making this storm even more dangerous. One of the main reasons this storm has become even more dangerous is the Arctic blast sweeping across the United States. This phenomenon occurs when an intense mass of cold, dense air moves southward from the Arctic, bringing temperatures that can plunge well below freezing. At the center of this event is the polar vortex, a large area of low pressure and extremely cold air that usually stays near the North Pole. However, disruptions in the upper atmosphere have caused a split in the polar vortex, sending icy air deep into the US. This has led to record-breaking cold temperatures in multiple states, with wind chills reaching dangerous levels. For example, in parts of the Midwest, temperatures have dropped as low as -30 degrees Fahrenheit, making it life-threatening to be outdoors for extended periods. In the South, states like Texas, Louisiana, and Georgia, places unaccustomed to extreme winter weather, are experiencing rare ice storms and dangerously low temperatures. This unexpected freeze is creating widespread power outages, frozen pipes, and major travel disruptions. The combination of this Arctic blast and strong winds is also fueling blizzards in the northern states, causing whiteout conditions and making travel nearly impossible. These factors are contributing to the storm's overall severity and increasing the risk for those caught in its path. While freezing temperatures are gripping the central and eastern US, the West Coast is battling a different but equally dangerous aspect of this storm: atmospheric rivers. These are narrow corridors of concentrated moisture that bring intense rainfall and heavy snow to affected areas. California, in particular, is experiencing relentless storms as these atmospheric rivers funnel vast amounts of moisture from the Pacific Ocean onto land. This is leading to torrential rain, flash flooding, and even landslides in some areas. Higher elevations, such as the Sierra Nevada, are seeing extreme snowfall, with some locations expecting multiple feet of snow in just a few days. The combination of atmospheric rivers and the cold air mass moving in from the Arctic is creating a unique and dangerous situation. Instead of rain turning to light snow, many areas are getting heavy, wet snow, which is far more likely to cause power lines to snap and trees to collapse under the weight. This clash of cold polar air and warm, moisture-laden air from the Pacific is intensifying the storm system, making it one of the most unpredictable and dangerous storms in recent years. The mix of snow, ice, and heavy rain means that no matter where you are in the country, this storm poses a serious threat. The southern United States is feeling the brunt of this storm in an unexpected way. While the region is typically known for mild winters, this storm has brought record-breaking cold, ice storms, and even rare snowfall in areas that rarely see winter weather. Texas, for example, is facing dangerously low temperatures, dropping below freezing in cities like Dallas, Houston, and Austin. This has led to widespread power outages as the state's energy grid struggles to keep up with increased demand. Many residents are experiencing the same type of crisis seen during the 2021 Texas freeze, where power failures left millions without heat for days. Freezing rain has also coated highways and power lines in Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama, leading to multiple road closures and accidents. Interstate 10 and Interstate 20 have seen major traffic incidents with vehicles sliding on icy roads. Emergency officials are urging residents to stay home unless absolutely necessary. In Georgia and the Carolinas, sleet and ice accumulation are bringing similar hazards. Cities like Atlanta, Charlotte, and Raleigh are seeing school closures, flight cancellations, and thousands of homes left without power. Many trees and power lines are collapsing under the weight of ice, creating a dangerous environment for residents. The biggest concern for the South is infrastructure that is not designed to handle extreme cold. Many homes lack proper insulation, and water pipes are beginning to freeze and burst, leaving residents without running water. With temperatures expected to remain below freezing for several days, the risk of widespread damage and prolonged power outages remain high. In contrast to the South, the Midwest and Northeast are no stranger to winter storms. However, the intensity of this system is pushing even these regions to their limits. The Midwest, including states like Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, and Kentucky, is facing blizzard conditions. Snowfall totals in some areas are exceeding a foot or more, with whiteout conditions and wind chills as low as minus 40 degrees Fahrenheit. These dangerously low temperatures increase the risk of frostbite within minutes of exposure. The Great Lakes region is also seeing lake effect snow, which is adding even more accumulation to already overwhelmed areas. Cities like Buffalo, Cleveland, and Chicago are buried underneath deep snowdrifts, and strong winds are making it nearly impossible to clear roads. Meanwhile, the Northeast is dealing with a combination of heavy snow, freezing rain, and coastal flooding. States like New York, Pennsylvania, Massachusetts, and New Jersey are bracing for hurricane-force wind gusts along the coastline, which could lead to storm surges and power outages affecting millions. Major airports in Boston, New York City, and Philadelphia are reporting hundreds of cancelled flights, stranding travelers as the storm intensifies. Public transportation systems, including Amtrak and local subway services, are also seeing major disruptions, leaving commuters scrambling for alternatives. One of the biggest concerns in the Northeast is the risk of freezing rain turning into thick layers of ice, which could create widespread blackouts and travel nightmares. If power lines go down, residents could be left without heat for extended periods in dangerously cold temperatures. With the storm continuing to strengthen, officials are warning residents in both the Midwest and Northeast to prepare for worsening conditions. Those in high-risk areas are advised to stay indoors, stock up on supplies, and avoid unnecessary travel as emergency crews work around the clock to restore power and clear roads. One of the most immediate and severe consequences of this storm is transportation disruption across the country. Roads, highways, and interstates in multiple states are becoming nearly impassable due to snow, ice, and freezing rain. In the South, icy conditions are creating a major hazard, especially in states unprepared for winter weather. Highways like Interstate 10, I-20, and I-35 have seen hundreds of crashes, with vehicles sliding off the roads and jackknifed trucks blocking lanes. In Texas alone, state troopers have responded to over 1,000 accidents in just 24 hours. Officials continue to warn drivers to stay off the roads unless absolutely necessary. Meanwhile, in the Midwest and Northeast, blizzard conditions are making travel nearly impossible. Interstate 90, I-95, and I-80 are experiencing heavy snow accumulation, leaving many motorists stranded in sub-zero temperatures. Some highways have already been shut down, forcing travelers to seek shelter in emergency warming centers. Air travel is also severely impacted, with thousands of flights cancelled across major airports including Dallas-Fort Worth, Atlanta, Chicago O'Hare, New York JFK, and Boston Logan. The FAA has issued ground stops at several locations, delaying flights indefinitely as visibility continues to worsen. Public transit systems, including Amtrak and local metro services, are struggling to maintain schedules. Amtrak has suspended service on some Northeast Corridor routes due to ice-covered tracks, while cities like New York, Washington, D.C., and Chicago have issued emergency alerts regarding delays and service interruptions. As temperatures plunge and ice accumulates, millions of people are experiencing power outages across the country. The combination of heavy snow, freezing rain, and strong winds is causing trees and power lines to collapse, leaving entire neighborhoods in the dark. In Texas, the state's power grid is once again being tested as demand for electricity surges. The Electric Reliability Council of Texas has issued warnings of potential rolling blackouts, similar to the 2021 winter storm disaster. Many residents are already experiencing extended outages, with reports of people resorting to fireplaces, generators, and even car heaters to stay warm. The Southeast and Mid-Atlantic states are also facing widespread blackouts. Ice accumulation on power lines is particularly dangerous, as even a quarter-inch of ice can add 500 pounds of extra weight per power line. Utility crews are working around the clock to restore power, but hazardous conditions are making repairs difficult. Meanwhile, in the Northeast and Midwest, infrastructure is being stretched to its limits. Heating systems in homes and businesses are struggling to keep up, leading to burst pipes and furnace failures. Emergency services are being overwhelmed with calls for frozen water pipes, carbon monoxide poisoning from improper heating sources, and medical emergencies caused by exposure to the extreme cold. In many areas, warming centers and emergency shelters are opening to provide relief for those without heat. However, with conditions expected to worsen, officials are urging all residents to prepare for extended outages and freezing temperatures. As this storm continues to intensify, state and federal agencies are stepping in to assist affected communities. Governors in multiple states have declared states of emergency, allowing for faster resource deployment and financial assistance for recovery efforts. The FEMA is on high alert, coordinating with local officials to provide relief where it is needed most. In Texas, National Guard troops have been deployed to help with search and rescue operations, clearing roadways, and assisting stranded motorists. Emergency shelters are being set up in major cities to accommodate those without heat or power. Officials have also requested additional utility crews from neighboring states to help restore electricity as quickly as possible. Further north, states like Illinois, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and New York are ramping up snow removal efforts and emergency response teams. In New York City, officials are pre-salting roads and bridges to prevent ice buildup, while Boston has implemented a travel ban to reduce congestion and allow emergency crews to work more efficiently. Airlines and public transportation agencies are working with authorities to accommodate stranded passengers, offering waivers and rescheduling options for cancelled flights and train routes. Some airports are even turning parts of their terminals into temporary shelters for those unable to travel. Meanwhile, community organizations and volunteers are stepping up to help the most vulnerable populations. Churches, community centers, and non-profits are distributing food, blankets, and warm clothing to those in need. Many volunteers are also checking in on elderly neighbors and disabled individuals to ensure they have the necessary supplies to weather the storm safely. While government and emergency responders are working tirelessly, personal preparedness is key to staying safe. Here are some essential safety measures that residents in affected areas should follow. Avoid unnecessary travel. Roads are becoming extremely dangerous due to ice and snow accumulation. If you must drive, keep an emergency kit in your vehicle, including blankets, food, water, flashlights, and a fully charged phone. Stay warm but be cautious. If your home loses power, use safe heating sources like fireplaces and extra layers of clothing. Never use gas stoves, ovens, or grills indoors for heat, as this can lead to deadly carbon monoxide poisoning. Prepare for extended power outages. Charge all phones, portable chargers, and backup batteries ahead of time. Have flashlights and candles readily available, and stock up on non-perishable food and bottled water in case grocery stores and supply chains are disrupted. Protect your home from freezing temperatures. Let your faucets drip slightly to prevent pipes from freezing and bursting. If your pipes do freeze, do not use an open flame to thaw them. Use a hairdryer or heating pad instead. Stay informed. Keep up with local news, emergency alerts, and weather updates. Follow the NWS advisories and listen to local officials regarding evacuation orders or shelter availability. Check on family, friends, and neighbors. The elderly, disabled, and those living alone are especially at risk during extreme weather events. A quick phone call or visit can help ensure they have what they need to stay safe. As the storm continues to develop, staying prepared and making smart decisions could save lives. Authorities are urging everyone in the storm's path to remain indoors, stay warm, and be ready for worsening conditions. This storm is proving to be one of the most intense and dangerous weather events of 2025, affecting millions of people across the United States. From the south, where ice and freezing temperatures are causing major power outages, to the Midwest and Northeast, where blizzards and high winds are creating life-threatening conditions, no region is untouched. The combination of Arctic blasts, atmospheric rivers, and extreme cold has created a perfect storm of hazardous weather that is still unfolding. As emergency crews continue to work around the clock, it's crucial to stay informed, take safety precautions, and check in on loved ones. if you live in the affected areas, follow official weather updates, avoid unnecessary travel, and prepare for potential power outages. Before you go, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on breaking news, extreme weather, and important events that might impact your life. Hit the notification bell so you never miss an important alert. Stay safe, stay warm, and we'll see you in the next update.